So I gotta make it. Oh, whoa, this looks awfully melty. That wasn't that melted before. Oh, that looks melty. Can you not melt? Ugh, maybe this shouldn't have been out in the sun. Well, yeah, we're gonna make it where it's not out in the sun. We're gonna make an air shroud for it, which is gonna be interesting. My plan is to get some pieces of paper around this thing and maybe cut some little slits in here and, you know, line it up with this plate here and tape these pieces of paper together or whatever, and so I can get a good outline. And then when I get my outline going, since I'm making my own air shroud, I'm probably going to make my own shape, and I'm thinking of just going with simple, so going up like this and then making an angle at a hard angle, hard angle, hard angle, so it doesn't look like any other motor, and it'll also be less to weld. And we're gonna start by using that scrap, and we're gonna make the face cut out, and hopefully leave enough room on each side that I can make a wraparound piece. All right, there's our main shape that I'm copying so far. The inside lines is kind of the bare minimum shape it could have. The outside lines are what I'm gonna follow. I decided I didn't like the uneven look of the line I drew, so I cut more on the inside on one side and leaving the bigger on the outside. So now when I do this, I'm actually going to be cutting out the piece a little bigger because I can grind it up later to what I want. But yeah, that's the shape we're going for here. Awesome sawsome. I wish I had a working sawzall to cut that center hole out. That's going to be a nightmare. But so far, so cool. Well, I screwed up. I cut the thing backwards. I wanted it to go on with the vents like this because it wouldn't obstruct airflow and I think it would look better. Now it has to go like this or I don't get to have vents. Damn it, I wanted it like this, but I put it on, I cut it backwards. Now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna cut that circle. Maybe I'm gonna dance around it with the angle grinder. The only thing you really think of at this point is go to a grind wheel and just kind of twist it back and forth to like around that circle out close to the Sharpie lines. Now I'm cutting it from the back side, so if I make any mistakes I won't see it from the front side. Hopefully I can get the rest of that with the grinder bit in my Dremel. Well, this is annoying. My angle grinder's too big and the Dremel's too small. Just the Dremel doesn't really make noticeable progress because it's thick steel and that's a small bit on a small tool. Guess I'm gonna try being more gentle with the angle grinder. Don't know how well this is gonna turn out. Everything was going fine until the angle grinder apparently got a little kink in it and just kicked this and ripped this right out of my hand. You know what? I think that's good enough for now. I'll wait till I have a better idea or a way to cut the hole right. I've lost too much light to weld, but that's where we're at. I actually really like how this is coming out so far. I think this looks pretty cool. I don't know if you can see that, but the cloud's got a whole bunch of layers and they are booking. Look at that, that's crazy. It's about gone now, but there is a whole bunch of clouds actually touching the ground over there. It wasn't rotating like a tornado, it was just clouds were coming down to the ground. It was weird. They're gone now. Wow, that is crazy. That lower level is just moving. Look at that. Oh look, we got a little spinach there. Got a little swirly. Got a little swirly there. Look at you swirling along there. Oh, that is, I've never seen a sky this active. Look at that. So much motion in the sky. Clouds going all different ways and colliding. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. I hope the camera's seeing this with all the dynamic exposure it's getting access to. Oh boy, here comes the wind. Oh, look over there. Hey, that's where the sky was at the ground before. Yeah, that's where the sky was at the ground before. That was over there. That is so weird. If you look over there, look, you can see the sky is at the ground over there. It's not a tornado, it's just the clouds are moving and they're low. That cloud the groundness over there was behind the field. I should have got video of it. Oh, that's a thicket too. Yeah, I bet if that started spinning, that would turn into a tornado. That is cloud on the ground, but it's still. That literally just, that's what flew through here. I'm gonna get back to making an air shroud just so you know. It's not like, oh, I'm turning the camera on when it gets stormy. No, I'm missing most of the storms actually because I'm not recording when it's stormy. It is stormed like several times a day, almost every day for weeks. So it looks like I'm going to be cutting this off and re-welding it back on because this needs shifted over that much as we are not mating in the back properly. I got Sharpie in that hand. Why? You don't want to lick that hand. So I took this popsicle stick and I really rubbed the Sharpie in the end of it, and then I traced around the back of the motor, which gave me a very crappy line. Then I used this as both my straight edge to trace here, and because I just kind of did some dots along here, and I actually kind of went back and forth. Then I went through my red Sharpie and retraced everything so I can see it. See, I'm going to cut this off here and cut all this out, and I'm probably going to just completely do away with this piece of metal and cut off new because this will be too short and I don't want to have another unnecessary weld line. I just want you guys to know this is the only cutting tool I'm using for all of this. Alright, got our cuts. It's time to put the final piece on. Well, then we have to do the top part. Wish I had that popsicle stick when I started this project. I'm making really straight edges now that I got it. Could have made this straighter. You know, I traced that with a big piece of wood too, but it wasn't a very good piece of wood. You know, tool I'd love to have? Something that's like a chainsaw, but instead of a bar and chain in the end, you get a bar and an angle grinder wheel at the end with a cutoff wheel. You know how useful that'd be for dumpster diving? Just fire that up, cut out what you want, and you don't have to be in a dumpster for an hour taking things apart. You know what, I can live with that one. I'll close up a little bit when I tighten the bolts. So what I'm going to do from this point is take my spark plug out and put some metal over here level with this, and we're gonna cut this off level here, and we're gonna weld a plate that directs the airflow over all the bolts. And we're also gonna trim this all back to one uniform size too. Now you can see our top cut off. Let's cut it off.
If you see me in the woods, do not think that I'm lost. I'm living this life and it came at a cost. I need a big list of the friends, family, and things that I lost. I abandoned my past, I tossed in the trash. I set it on fire, I can't live in the ash. The change I needed has come for me at last. Now that I'm country, I can never go back. You don't like it, you know where I'm at. On my tractor, pistol on my lap, it's black. Shotgun on my back, need to build a rack. Breaking about 30 on the track, on the trail. I can fix it if it fails. Hit a rock, I get some air.
I had some screw ups, but we're just gonna use extra weld bead to hide that. Alright, we're really starting to look good here. Everything's lining up. Okay, I've patched up all my little hole fragments I had everywhere. So, and I also grinded this up because this is where I started dialing in my welder and it looked pretty nasty. And I guess I still need to do a little touch up here. And, yeah, it looks pretty good over there. But, yeah, I'm gonna wire wheel the whole thing. And I'm actually going to weld the insides of the seams. Not because I need to, but because the heat should change the color of, the heat should cause a color, discoloration change. So I figure I'm just going to chrome it, let the color change, and clear coat it. And if it rusts over time, that's what it'll be. It'll get authentic rust. The paint's only coming off where it's been exposed to extreme heat. I'm going to get a fire started and throw this thing on the coals for like an hour. Firing up the kiln. I got some wood below there, so once all that cardboard goes away, we got some wood that we can get the coals hot from. I bet that paint will come off good when I try getting to it in about 10 minutes now, won't it? Ow. know it just started it, but it doesn't seem like it has a whole lot of balls. I think the Honda needs a carb cleaning. I don't like that thing. I can't even take the carb apart because it's metric. I guess I am mowing wet grass, but that's all we're probably going to have all summer is wet grass because it rains multiple times a day every day. Now back to the slow and tedious process of crewmaning. Now we're near looking like what I was aiming for in the beginning, but I think it looks pretty cool actually. I'm going to go around it with the torch and just try to get a little more color out of some spots that look a little bland, like over here. On the annoying side, the wax or whatever that's over here is melting over time. And here now I have a bit of a mechanical connection. Alright, we need to increase the heaviness of our duty. Getting a job done quicker and hotter is better than slower and less hot. There we go. Looks like I got a nice wet solder connection there after a few attempts. We're gonna silicone this. Could you imagine what this would look like if we actually could be on that mountain, how much bigger the sun would get?
Well, sun ain't going down, it's actually going further over the horizon. It just travels in a straight line.
You mean we travel around it?
Well, we can't measure motion.
The final product. I'm quite happy with this. Gave it a very industrial look. I don't think anybody else is going to have an air shroud looking like this. And the best part is, it's solid. Sure, the original one would have been solid, but you know I don't have it. And something else that I think is actually pretty cool is if you get the air shroud in the shade, it looks way darker than it does in the light. Like you don't even really notice the color variance. It's just really like I get two color schemes. And this is about where this motor is going to live. And this project was made or changed heavily specifically because I got this motor running. See, this is that electric scooter I never got to make that video on. It was really awesome because it had all the torque. And you know, I was going to turn it into something I could still move around on using nothing but scraps in the backyard. So I was going to use that blade deck, and I extended this so that could actually be bolted down to the deck. I was going to take that Lawn Boy motor over there that doesn't have an exhaust bracket for it and make up a mounting plate for it with an exhaust port that'll fit to it. And I was going to pulley swap it and run it off that little transaxle, micro transaxle there, and bolt that straight to here. But when I got this motor running, I decided that, hey, you know, screw a 7.7 horsepower motor, let's use this 1.1, because this motor just to me feels so much more like it belongs on this project. So I started welding, and there'll be a full video on this when it's done, but so far it's made of a lot of parts. Right now I'm waiting on a bearing and a torque converter to come in the mail, and then I'll have to make everything happen, and I should be able to do the rest of the stuff from Tractor Supply. But right now we've got a 6-inch lawn tractor rim welded inside side of an 8-inch lawn tractor rim, and there's some angle iron welded there for the bracing. Then we got a barbecue grill, some random conduit, pipe I don't even know, part of the actual scooter, push mower handle, Lawn Boy push mower handle, random pipe, random conduit, plate is actually used to be the side panel on my welder, and it hasn't been on my welder in years. Hopefully in a few weeks I can finish this project. Also, keep my eyes peeled for a real Briggs carb, but I'm having a hard time finding one. I might have to just try to make that Chinese bike carb work. Alright, well this is really the end of the video, and let me tell you, I want to go swimming in Sarah's Dam so bad. but I have no way to get there. It's really far away from me. Closest thing I have is the hatchery, and it's just not hot enough to swim in 40-degree water.